If you are anybody from a millennial to a baby boomer and you're really struggling with staying on top when it comes to renting or owning a house, we may have an answer for you today. So joining me, I have Linda Liberatore, and she is real estate expert, owner of Secure Pay One. And you're going to be telling us about a new trendy, basically life hack today.
Yeah.
So welcome, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
Yes.
House hacking is definitely trendy. It's just really a very affordable way for millennials to get started.
Okay.
So if they want to start building wealth, you know, as you know, stocks investments are a tough route.
Definitely.
So this gets you into your first place while rents are escalating everywhere and student loan payments are so difficult. So what you do is make a plan, buy a house, and find out how you can get in a renter. So you can go for a duplex, as we discussed, right?
Yeah.
Those are great ways to know that you'll own that home in no time.
Okay, so like she said, the tip is called house hacking, and I started really doing some research on this, and it's actually everywhere. Once you type in house hacking into Google, it comes up left and right. So if anybody watching this is thinking, you know what, I am really struggling paying rent, it's so expensive, it's escalating, it's inflating, and it's hard to even own a house, even if you're a baby boomer, what type of property should people look into buying? And you touched on that lightly. But
Yeah, so definitely duplex. Like in the Chicago area, they refer to them as 3 flats. So different parts of the country refer to them differently, but multi-units, sometimes there's even converted garages that are being used. As long as they're approved, you know, by your municipality, that can be rented out. People rent out rooms. There's websites now like Roomster, Roommate. Those are different ways to screen those tenants. So that all kind of gets you started.
Yeah, that's great. And that's, you know, it's the tenants too that you do need to think about when you're looking into options like this. And as we were talking about it, your daughter's even doing something like this.
Right.
And it's hard because you get to a certain point where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want roommates. But if you get good ones, you can get to a point where you're basically living for free, making money too.
Absolutely.
Right?
Definitely coming out, definitely living for free, and sometimes, as you said, having cash flow. The idea is to get in with a good mortgage loan specialist that can take a look at your situation, get you in for a low down payment. There's down payment assistance programs even, so sometimes you have to bring like $1,000 to the closing.
Yeah.
So definitely a doable amount, and then you get in there and you'll be making money. So it's really, really a great way to start building wealth.
Fabulous. Okay, and so I do want to touch on the fact I mentioned earlier, even if you're a millennial or a baby boomer, we're all dealing with different struggles. So how do people handle house hacking differently out of those two groups? So millennials are doing it, why?
Well, millennials, as we said, to get started.
Right.
Because otherwise it's really hard to come up with a 20% down payment.
Definitely.
And be paying those large amounts of rent. With the baby boomers, they're looking at aging parents that maybe they need some kind of shared resources to keep up with escalating real estate taxes.
Right.
I mean, these are issues that are countrywide, nationwide. So with that helps them balance that, and it gives them a sense of comfort that somebody's in that house with an aging parent and they're sharing, you know, a bedroom or another flat.
Yeah, then you feel like your parents are safe, and there are people around if they are aging that you feel like they're not completely alone in this big house.
Absolutely.
And I also want to touch on the fact too, with baby boomers, everyone's worried that they won't even have retirement money, right? Because they're in this house ownership and they're really having a hard time. So house hacking would be a great option for baby boomers as well. What are the long-term and short-term benefits of this?
Well, definitely, as we discussed, you know, there's ways to put money in 401ks, et cetera. But when you put money in real estate, it's a solid investment, and especially when you buy right. So as we were saying, when you hold that for the long term, you're looking at a lot of money in cash flow once they get paid off. If you make a plan, pay it off in 15, 20 years, 30 years the most, that's all cash flow then.
Okay, fabulous. So where can people find you, Linda?
MyLandlordHelper.com or Linda Liberatore, and hopefully they can, we've got some tips in there on how we can assist them and get started. So
okay, great. And then we have a book right here too that will really give people insight into house hacking, this new trendy way of basically making money and living for free. So you got to plan a little bit, get on board, but this is fabulous for no matter what age group you're in. So thank you so much, Linda.
Thank you.
And stay with us on the Arizona Daily Mix because we have so much more coming up.